my lovely lunatics. Tonight on Adult Bedtime Stories, we are reading You Are Badass by Jen Sincero. We are on Chapter 12, Lead With Your Crotch. Super fun. If you have not already subscribed, please do that. Ring the notification bell so you always get notified when I upload. Comment throughout the chapter what your favorite part is. And smash the thumbs up button because it helps YouTube show this video to more people. Let's get to it. Alright, Chapter 12, Lead With Your Crotch. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few. Shunryu Suzuki, Japanese Zen monk, author-teacher, also lovingly known as the Crooked Cucumber. I know the big saying is youth is wasted on the young, but I think in certain respects anyway, we've really got it going on in our late teens and early 20s. Aside from all the angst and drama and escorts home from the police, we've still got our little kid-like ability to create just because, still firmly intact, but we've also got this newly hatched adult ability to make big things happen in our lives. Add to this the fact that we're not yet jaded by a long list of failures and are still under the vague impression that death is something that happens to other people. We, if you're anything like me, leap into our lives when we're young with an idiotic yet awesome disregard for what-ifs. Admittedly, I remember doing things in the danger department that still have me sleeping with my light on when I think about them now. Hanging out in sketchy parts of town with even sketchier people, stowing away on trains, taking enough LSD in one sitting to keep an entire village staring at their hands for hours, hiking off into the desert with no water, no map, and a canteen full of gin and tonics. Isn't it tonic, not tonics? My first priority being fun, with thoughts of the consequences trailing somewhere, if at all, far off in the distance. But I also remember diving into my creative pursuits with the same reckless, oblivious, and, as a result, getting utterly spectacular and thrilling results, which is why I find it so odd to hear people say, if I knew then what I know now, I'm not sure I would have done it. Well, thank God you didn't know. If that's your lame-o attitude, you'd be sitting next to a pile of empty beer cans, whining about how you missed out on going for your dreams if you did. The problem is that once we're older and wiser, many people trade in living fully in their purpose for more grown-up versions of life that range from the merely plausible to the full-on sucking. They've bought into this idea that being responsible equals not having fun anymore, that waking up feeling excited about life is for the young, and once we're older, we need to trade that in, settle down, and be more realistic. Yawn. I'm not talking about being an irresponsible jerk or doing the same things we did when we were younger, but I am talking about continuously living our dreams, no matter what stage of life we're in, instead of settling for mediocrity because we don't believe anything else is available or appropriate. We only get to be in our bodies for a limited time. Why not celebrate the journey instead of merely riding it out until it's over? We're still allowed to dream, and our dreams are still available to us, but as we move through life, we must make the conscious effort to overcome whatever judgments we have, as well as kick all our fears from past experiences in the head, and participate in our own badassery, whatever that looks like for us. We must focus on the positive instead of the list of negatives we've collected over time, and keep that focus regardless of what flies in our faces. And one of the best ways to do this is by reconnecting with our inner kids. I know how unacceptable dorky this may sound, but just stay with me here. Even though you're now most likely turned on by different things than you were as a youngster, you can still learn a lot from how you went about life in the old days. So think back. Was there ever a time where you felt totally in your groove, where you created and did stuff just because it was fun without worrying about the outcome, where you couldn't wait to wake up in the morning and go do your thing? This could mean anything from when you were a little kid running around with a maxi pad stuck to your eye, pretending to be a pirate, to your senior year in high school when you got voted class clown for repeatedly charming your way past the ladies in the front office to make fake announcements over the loudspeaker, to that summer you learned to play guitar without looking at your hands. When were you the most turned on by life? And if you have yet to feel this way, stay tuned. And what can you learn from those experiences? For me, one of the most exciting and on-purpose times in my life was when I was the singer-guitarist in a band called Crotch. I use the term singer, guitarist, and band all very loosely because we in Crotch weren't concerned with things like learning to play our instruments or practicing or any of the snooty musicianship crap. We had bigger fish to fry, like talking in loud voices about our band and checking ourselves out in plate glass windows as we walked by with guitars strapped to our backs. Electric ones. I started Crotch with this chick from work named Paula, who'd never picked up a guitar in her life either, and who was as incapable of embracing her feminine side as I was. Paula and I were the kind of young ladies who prided ourselves on the wattage of our stereo equipment, our firm handshakes, and our ability to drink anyone in the room under the table. The testosterone-fueled chip on my shoulder came from my high school career spent futilely awaited a timely puberty while standing a good foot taller than everyone on earth, all the boys at my high school included. None of them ever asked me out, but I could make them laugh and kick their asses in basketball. So rather than fail at seducing them, I simply became one of them. Paula's issues were more homicidal in nature. She was the kind of angry found in highly intelligent women who develop the body of a Playboy bunny by the age of 13 and are forced to grow up in the deep redneck South. Within the first few months of starting the band, she traded in her long raven locks for a fire engine red buzz cut and covered her arms and back with tattoos of flames and dragons. We decided that as the tough ones, she should play bass, while I, the desperate for attention one, would be on guitar, and that my little brother, Stefan, the malleable one, would play drums, only until we find another drummer, I promised him, as I attempted to plug my guitar into the wrong part of my amp. Stefan has played the drums since he was 5, and is the kind of younger brother every bossy older sister dreams of, talented and endlessly enthusiastic, with a very high threshold for pain. The great tragedy of Crotch was that underneath our sneers and our bravado, we were two sweet girls who desperately wanted boyfriends. But we had issues that we decided were best worked out while drunk, and sometimes naked on stage. Paula and I, baffled by our lack of gentleman callers, chose to express our disappointment by writing and singing songs like Sew Me Up, I've Had Enough, and by yelling things into the microphone between songs that one evening would inspire an audience member to rush the stage holding a chair over his head with intent to beat us with it. In spite of ourselves, we quickly acquired quite the following in less than a year's time. We also wrote, produced, directed, and starred in a film about the record industry. Wrote, directed, and starred in a music video that got on national television, recorded on EP, got a demo, deal with Columbia Records, and even learned a couple more chords. And we did it with full-time corporate jobs and no idea what we were doing. It was fun with a capital F. There's nothing as unstoppable as a freight train full of fuck yeah. If you've ever known what it's like to be in your groove and are having trouble finding your way right now, think back to your attitude and what your priorities were when you were totally lit up about life, and use them to help you get the clarity and the kick in the rear end you need now. Here are some nuggets of wisdom I gleaned from the Crotch days that I still find useful. 1. Just see what you can get away with. Life is RIDICULOUS. It so seriously is. We have no freaking idea what we're even doing here, spinning around on this globe, in the middle of this solar system, with who the hell knows what out there beyond it. Making a big fat deal out of anything is absurd. It makes much more sense to go after life with a sense of why not, instead of a furrowed brow. One of the best things I ever did was make my motto, I just want to see what I can get away with. It takes all the pressure off, puts the punk rock attitude in, and reminds me that life is but a game. Yes, we have bigger responsibilities and more pressure as adults, but come on folks, I guarantee you there are countless people with way more to whine about out there than you, who are totally kicking ass because they decided to go for it instead of sitting around in the wet pantload of their own excuses. Take a new approach to what you're doing and try this on. I just want to see if I can start my own successful business. I just want to see if I can get myself out of debt and make $100,000 more this year. I just want to see if I can lose 100 pounds. I just want to see if I can sell one of my paintings for 50 grand. I just want to see if I can meet my soulmate. Take the pressure off and get back in on the adventure. 2. Lose track of time. Have you ever been doing something and suddenly realized that hours have gone by without you noticing? What does that for you? And how often during your day does this happen? When you're so lost in what you're doing that you lose all sense of time. You have officially entered the vortex. You want to get your ass in there as much as possible. So look at your life and figure out how you can make that happen. First, figure out the things you get lost in your business and your personal life. Then figure out how you can be doing more of those things more of the time. Hire someone, no excuses, and delegate the tasks you hate doing. Partner up with someone who's good at it and enjoys doing the things you're not that into so you can be freed up to do more of what you want. If you have to make massive changes in your business and your personal life to include more time doing what you love, figure it out. Don't just hand your life over to your circumstances like a little wuss. You can take your life wherever you want it to go, so grab it by its nether regions and make doing the things you love a priority. 3. Keep being the beginner. One of the best things about starting a band when you have no idea how to play your instrument is that you don't care if you stink because you already know you do. Then, once you learn how to play, you get all serious, you become overly critical and hard on yourself, and don't let yourself have nearly as much fun anymore. The trick is to let the beginner live alongside the expert instead of pretending you don't know who she is when she tries to sit with you and your new, cooler, more experienced friends in the cafeteria. The beginner may be an idiot, but she knows how to party, and if you don't let her play with you anymore, things risk getting rather droll around here. So, hone your skills, take your craft seriously, learn what you need to learn, invest in yourself, practice your ass off, fall down, get up, keep going, get really, 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 really good at what you do. But don't lose the fun in the process, because, like, what's the point of doing all that work then? The only thing you need to do is do the very best you can. Once you've done that, the only other thing that matters is that you enjoy yourself. 4. Love yourself. And the Bluebirds of Happiness will be your permanent backup singers. That is the end of chapter 12. Next time we read You Are Badass by Jen Sincero, we'll be on chapter 13, Give and Let Give. It's kind of like my tattoo, live and let live. Thank you so much for watching Adult Bedtime Stories, my lovely lunatics. If you have not subscribed already, please do that. Smash the thumbs up button so YouTube will show this video to more people. Comment what you like best about the chapter, or, you know, like what your dumbness of being young was, or if you're still in it, what it is kind of type thing, you know what I mean? And ring the notification bell so you always get notified when I upload. Thank you so much, my lovely lunatics. And for now, goodbye!